Hey there Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your speaker, trainer and coach from Live, Love, Give. And today I'm bringing you a message as always, currently while I'm going through it, currently while I am in the midst of learning my lessons. And today's lesson is one that I'm having to relearn over again, which is to choose consistency over intensity. And I want to break that down, and of course how that's happening in my life right now. I'm going to give you the example in terms of my health and in terms of my new training program that I've been running through. But I definitely want to bring it into all areas of life in terms of where you want to feel that success, where you want to actually generate awesome results, and it all comes down to this, and that's why I want to really dive into and share that with you guys. But ultimately, when I'm talking about consistency over intensity, what I'm talking about is choosing those things that we can remain consistent with over time, over and above going boom, all out, like give our absolute all, and then we're just shot. Right? Then we're just like wiped out, and we can't like back it up straight away. And you know, the real thing that's happening for me right now has been that over this past year, I've sort of tried to shift and change my training style, where it used to be like really hardcore, like every session had to be higher weights and, you know, really getting to the next level. And anyway, my body was just kind of not kind of taking it. Maybe I'm getting old, I don't know, but you know, for me it was like I've got these like neck pains. I was having to go see a chiropractor. I was having to do this and do that, and it was always like it had to be more intense and more intense. And I kind of got to this point where I was like, you know, and you guys who've been following me for the last year know that I got to this point where I was like, you know what, drop all your rules. And definitely just be kind to the body, just listen to my body and go from there. So I shifted from intensity, which was affecting my my body. You know, I was, to give you an example, like, you know, I weigh about, you know, between, you know, I'm always kind of between, you know, 50 to about 53 kilos. That's kind of my weight, and I'm only 5'4". And I was lifting like 100 kilos in my squats, and I was, you know, doing one arm rows with like 30 kilos, like just crazy stuff, right? And always trying to get to that next level. And it just kind of was too much intensity for my body and my frame, and it was putting too much stress on my body and my structure, and it wasn't really looking after myself. It was too focused on the intensity and short-term results over long-term energy and vibrance and kindness and self-love and strength and health, you know? And so when I made those shifts, you know, I just started to just like, everything just became so easy, and my body was really responding so well to all of that. And just recently, flash forward, you know, kind of a year, I finally, you know, I was like, you know what, I'm kind of sick of just doing what I feel like in the gym. I really want somebody to decide this training program for me, and I want to kind of mix it up, and I want to like go, you know, go a bit more hardcore. Why not? And so I did, and it's been a really great training program. But then I found this other one that was like, whoa, that's like way more intense. And this one's like, oh, it's going to be the same sort of exercise. And I was like slowly shifting gears from consistency to intensity. And what happened was I went and did this massive session. I think it was on Monday, and today is Saturday. I think it was Monday or Tuesday or something. And it was like really intense. And I just pushed the limits. It was kind of a training program that, like, you know, it's advanced, right? And I think of myself as advanced, but the fact of the matter is, for the last year, I've kind of been taking it like higher rep, lower weight, just kind of, you know, not really building on any structure and just kind of listening to my body. And this is structure. And this is, hey, you know, if you're like lifting quite heavily, quite regularly, then go do this. And I went and did that, like going hardcore and intensity. And actually, I'm going back to the gym today, but it's Saturday here, you know. And before, when I was following the structure as it is and being kind, I was able to go consistently and just get my body moving and go for it and, you know, show up and create that consistent game. rather than go all out intensity. And now I'm finally ready to get back into the gym because I've had this like my nervous system got a really big shock, and I've had this like thumb twitch going on all week. And you guys know who were following me when I was doing F45 classes, like I went so intensely that I ended up injuring my wrist. So it is a pattern of mine that I'm very aware of, that I can oftentimes go for intensity because I get a bit excited and I want to like go for the best, you know. But my lessons are always slow back down, go for consistency. And I was just listening to a great podcast on this topic as well. I think just yesterday from on the Joe Rogan show. I don't know if it's one of his latest ones or it was an older one. I can't remember. I'll link it up if you guys want to hear about it. But he was interviewing this guy around training, and this guy made a great point around what I'm talking with you guys about today. That choosing consistency over intensity will get you to win in the long term. So take the health example. Take that example of, you know, the person who shows up and they train to the degree that they're not going to be too sore and too overwhelmed to be able to, you know, back it up the next day and the next day and the next day, versus the person who goes all out so hard, they're so sore, they're going to take some days to recover and then they'll come back. And if you take those two people over a year, you know, the person who's been consistent every day has ended up creating more volume in their workouts and being able to create more volume over that year than the person who goes like, boom, all intensity, and then has to like recover for a couple of days or so and then can go back in, you know. So in the long term, that person who was consistent didn't push it too hard, too far intensity that they couldn't back it up, but pushed it far enough to remain consistent but also grow in strength. They're going to be at a higher degree of strength and endurance than the person who goes boom, all in, all out, all in, all out. And so I hope that me sharing this with you guys is just reminding you to, you know, look at where in your life, in whatever area, is it in your health? Is it in your relationships? You know, is it in your business where you just kind of go, oh yeah, I'm going to do everything to the best of my ability, but now I'm so burnt out because I haven't been looking after this stuff and I'm not, I need a rest, I need to recover. And you just like go from this all and nothing kind of way of being, rather than what are those consistent habits that I can show up every day with? So I don't have to play with willpower. So I don't have to burn myself out and then just have to convince myself to get back in there. And I can just identify these small, easily attainable, consistent habits that I can generate awesome results in the long term with, in my health, in my relationships, in my career, in whatever it is. Okay, so I'm really, really hoping that this is serving you guys, and I definitely want to check in with you guys. So let me know, have you got any questions? Have you got any comments? Have you got any feedback? And or do you just want to say hi and let me know where in the world you are tuning in from? I'd love to hear from you, but let me check in. So I have got Haas in the house, and I've got Judy, and I've got Radu. Awesome to see you, and Nissa, and Elliot's here. Hello to you, my friend, and Jace, and Jelna, and who else have I got? It takes time. I'm trying to wave to you guys at the same time, and it like takes up this, it makes it slow. But I want to say hi. And Ram's in the house. I love it. And Edgar. Little and constant change creates a domino effect which transforms into a butterfly effect on your life. Once you achieve this, you can use it as an anchor to create more changes in your life. Absolutely, Edgar. I absolutely love how you put that. And definitely, it's always the small, consistent, easily attainable actions that you can take regularly that are going to absolutely create that domino effect in your life, instead of just that one boom and then, you know, you got to wait and recover and then get back the energy again and then go again. Like it's just this stop-start motion rather than creating flow. So I love that, Edgar, absolutely. And Eduardo's here, and Sam's in the house. I love it. And Radu, you were lifting those weights like Wonder Woman. A little bit too much, Radu. I should have eased my way into that session. That was massive. That was a really big session for me, recently. So thanks, but yeah, not feeling like Wonder Woman after it. So got to get back in and make it a little bit more consistent, not as intense. And thank you so much, Sam. And Phil's here. Awesome to see you. And Sam, yes, I'd love to listen to the podcast. Awesome. I will link you up. I'll let you know which one it was. I always say podcast, but I actually like watching the video. So I'll send you the YouTube link, which is the same. It's the episode from the podcast. So love it. And Sam, yes, I had a shift from intensity to consistency in my life and it's paying off. I love hearing that, Sam. Thanks so much for sharing. And Huss, this was a valuable lesson for me too, V. Thanks to you. I've also found that having a baseline bare minimum that I would do each day also helps with my daily activity. So no matter what, I know I need to get at least a 30-minute walk in sometime throughout the day. This has helped me so much with my consistency and makes it so much easier to get back on track with my workouts instead of falling completely off. Sorry, this is so long. No, not at all. I love it. And I love hearing that, Huss. And I know, you're somebody who wants to take action and grow, and we can oftentimes overcommit ourselves and end up failing to, really follow through on our word to ourselves, which diminishes our self-belief. And it takes a lot of energy to get back on the wagon when we do that. So I absolutely love hearing that. And yeah, so when you just have those things that you do every day, like for me, Facebook Live, that's one thing. I don't have to think, oh, do I feel like doing it today, or am I going to do it today, and let that take up all my energy. It's got to happen. At some time during the day, I'm going to jump on a Facebook Live. That's just one example. And I like to have the gym or getting my body moving, as one of those things too. But because I went intensity too hard, I've had to take a few days off, and I'm going to rewrite that story. So love hearing that, Huss. Thanks so much for sharing. And Brian's here, and Moises, great to see you guys. And Sam, who takes videos for you while you're working out? Oh, I knew somebody was going to ask me that question at some stage. I actually, on the back of my phone, I have this this case, and it sticks on hard surfaces. So, whenever I'm traveling, I do my Facebook Lives from my phone. I stick it on a window, But yeah, when I'm at the gym, I just stick it on the mirror, and that's how I get my training videos done without relying on anybody else to do it for me. So, thanks for the question, Sam. I was waiting for that one. And Moises, I'm doing really well, my friend, and I hope you are too. Great to see you as always. And Edgar, sending you love, Vanessa. You're an inspiration and always giving beautiful messages. Edgar, you're touching my heart, my friend. I so appreciate you and your kindness and your generosity in your compliments. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you guys being here and joining me live. And thank you so much, Edgar. And Sam, how many hours do you sleep? Sleep is a big one. There's so many different ideas and concepts out there. There are amazing gurus out there who don't sleep too much, and and you kind of want to find that balance. I really believe that sleep, the quality of your sleep, is the quality of your health. So wherever I can, wherever it's possible, I try and sleep as long as possible. And so I try to get to bed kind of early, and I like to sleep for 8 hours. If I could sleep for 9, I will, because I just listen to my body. I think it's super important for all of us to not just be guided by all of the different advice, pieces of advice out there that bombard us, but to actually test some things out. And the idea is to build such an attunement with your body that you just kind of can listen to it and be guided by it and trust it, rather than trying to force it to have this amount of sleep, or try not to have this amount of sleep. I'm a big believer in training your body to sleep to its capacity. And also, I don't like alarms. I feel like alarms can wake us up before we're ready to wake up. So I train my body, so much so that it can be really difficult for me to ever sleep in if I get a late night, because I've trained my body to wake up at a certain time. And I like also to wake up with the sun. So wherever I am, or whatever time of year it is, I just wake up before the sun, or as the sun's rising. That's when my body clock, I train it to do that. And I encourage you guys to do that as well. It is super important to get your sleep. for managing hormones, for managing your health on all levels, your mind, everything. We could have a whole discussion about going down that path, about how, you know, your brain needs the sleep, and in the certain few hours, you know, your brain is actually clearing out all the debris left by the cells. And it's super important. It's why we can have that brain fog, you know, when we're not getting quality sleep, or we're eating too much sugar, or we're eating too many grains, or we're drinking too much alcohol, you know, all those different things that affect our ability to sleep. And drinking caffeine at the later hours of the day. So many different rabbit holes I could go down with you guys. But I hope that was valuable. I better stop myself now. Sam, thank you for the question. And Moises, you look more toned. Thank you so much, Moises. Even though I've had a few days off, but you know what? You know, you've got to realize that, you know, when we're training our bodies, if we want to get that tone, you know, we've got to obviously go to the gym and work the muscles. We've also got to look at our nutrition. You know, what's that old saying? I love that saying, which is abs are built in the gym, but revealed in the kitchen. You know, so you've got to look after your nutrition. But better than anything is to get quality sleep. You know, if we don't get that quality sleep, and say we're training really hard and we might be eating the right things, but we're not able to really give our body the rest time and the recovery time to really re-nurture and build up that, you know, rebuild the muscle tissue, and also really take in and make the most of the nutrient-dense foods that we're consuming as well. So thanks, Moises. I really appreciate your compliments there. And Marco's here. Great to see you, my friend. And Sam, wow, you're so smart and creative taking videos by yourself. It's pretty easy. You've got to get one of these. I think they're called an anti-gravity case. Just get it on eBay or wherever Amazon, wherever you guys shop. But super cheap and so cool. I've got a couple of different phones. I've got them for each of them because they're so handy. And Philippe is here, and Emma, awesome. And sorry, it takes a long time to wave at you guys. Aaron's here, and Huss. Great sleep question, Sam. I really struggle with sleeping. Usually get like 4.5 hours in. 8 hours is awesome though, V. Sleep equals health. I like that. You've inspired me to push myself to get more. Love it. Huss. Absolutely. Whenever I'm helping and serving somebody around their health, that's the first place I go. What's your sleep like? Because like I said, you know, if you don't get good enough quality sleep, you've all had the times when you've been really tired and you make really bad food choices because your body's like, give me energy, give me, and it goes for like sugar or, you know, some sort of carbohydrate that's generally not so good for us, you know, instead of having good enough quality sleep to make better decisions, having, you know, access to more willpower in the short term so that you can regenerate how you want to choose and make your health decisions and realign and identify with that as well. But Huss, nothing better. You know, so many people are like, oh, I don't get enough sleep, but I better go to the gym and I better exercise my body and I better look after my health in terms of nutrition. That's really true, but please focus on your sleep and your water intake as your number one priorities before you like overwhelm your body and your system. Say you're only getting 4 hours of sleep, like you're saying there, Haas, you know, and then you go and train your body hard at the gym, you're putting your body under more stress, more anxiety, and particularly if you've got challenges in your life that are creating mental stress and anxiety, you're just trapping fat on your body by raising your cortisol levels, the stress hormone. So you've got to really look after yourself, and we can have a whole conversation about managing stress through hormones with men and women because we're wired differently, we're built differently. And so for men, you know, in order to de-stress, you need to build testosterone. One way of building testosterone is to, yes, get in the gym. Another way to build testosterone is to get enough adequate recovery and rest time. Lay on the couch and watch the sport is actually really good for men to build testosterone and de-stress. You know, so it's not them just being lazy, which we can get caught up in thinking. It's actually really necessary for dealing with stress in the male body and definitely getting enough sleep. Whereas for women, what really de-stress us on the hormonal level is actually building, not testosterone. Testosterone can actually stress us more out, but we need oxytocin. You know, the love the love hormone. You know, we actually need that physical touch. We need that that receiving ability to receive is super important for women in order to de-stress and get your body in shape. You know, there's so much at play, but again, I could go down some whole rabbit hole and keep you guys here all day long, so don't start me. I love that, Haas. Thank you so much for sharing. And Elias is here, and Abhishek, and Mwembutsu. Butsia, I always mispronounce your name, but I love having you here. And Sam, thank you, Huss. I appreciate you, bro. Love the bromance going on. And Philippe, extraordinary message from you today. Thank you so much, Philippe. I'm really grateful that this is valuable to you. And I've got Kath is here, and Alexandria, my spirit sister. Yay, I've got you live. So good to see you. And Huss, I appreciate you too, Sam, and yes, V, I can see how my sleep habits are affecting my eating habits too, and my workouts and energy. Testosterone comes from rest. Say no more. I'm on it. Boom. I love hearing that. Please, you men out there, give yourself permission to slow down and recover and rest. Try your best to sleep as long as possible. Guaranteed, it will move the needle forward on your health and your stress levels immensely. So I love hearing that, Huss. Thanks for being here. And Philippe, today I did not go to swim because I give priority to sleep. Boom. I worked late until 2 a.m. and woke up at 6:30. I paid the price sleeping at noon. I usually swim from 7:45 to 8:45. Awesome. I love hearing that, Philippe. And yes, swimming is great for your body and not putting your joints under too much stress and getting an awesome all-body workout. So I love that. And I also love that you prioritized your sleep, Philippe. And don't feel guilty. Please, let's reprogram our thinking to realize that the act of sleep is a really self-loving act. And if you want to get the best out of yourself in all areas, sleep is where you start. Get that foundational element nailed in and dialed in, and you will definitely make your progress and your success so much better, particularly if you're looking to reshape your body and get awesome results in your health as well. So love that. And Sam, you're sleeping for 4 hours as well. I know. I've always wanted to ask you, like, when do you sleep? Because you're always there when I'm posting or I'm putting something out there, and it's like you never ever sleep, Sam. So, you know, and we're all different. So I don't want to say that unless you're sleeping 8 hours or 9 hours, then your health is terrible, because I think that we actually are all different, and you need to get attuned to how your body best works. Right? So, so many different angles we could take on that. But at the end of the day, you've got to listen and trust into your body. And I always start with just try and sleep as long as possible. It is going to really do wonders in terms of your stress and mental ability as well. And more Wambutsia. Yes. I love you with your daily guides. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you being here, and much love to you. And Huss, thank you, V. You're such a precious gift in my life. Much love. Oh, Huss, you always touch my heart, my friend. I so appreciate you, and I love your action taking, and I'll look forward to hearing about how you're going with your sleep. And Ashish is here, and Sam, yeah, I never sleep. Crazy me. I love it. And Ray is here as well. Awesome, guys. So I'm hoping that today's message has absolutely resonated with you guys, and it's got you thinking about your relationship with getting your results. Are you kind of in this all or nothing mentality, and you've got to do it all right now, and then you burn yourself out? And maybe just shifting to a consistent pattern. What are the easily attainable things that you can do on a regular, consistent basis that are going to get you toward that long-term result much quicker than any form of intensity that throws you out of the picture for a period of time is ever going to give you? So I love that. And last little comments. Huss, we got this, Sam. Let's push to get as much as we can. I love hearing that, and I can't wait to see your health transform, guys. And more ambitio. Oh, butchering it. I only sleep for 3 hours, have only 1 hour of exercising. The rest is work and work. I love it. You're a hustler. And if that works for you, then absolutely get moving on it. And I love that. And Sam, I love your inspiration and going to change. Boom. This is such a great, awesome commitment to make to yourself. So I love hearing that. Very self-loving. And Sam, I love your sleep routine as you're always upbeat and full of inspiration and enthusiasm. Thank you so much, Sam. And I love you guys doing the teamwork and up-leveling your sleep there. Huss and Sam, you superstars. Yes, so definitely get yourself to a position where you can, I decide, I don't know who said this, but I love it. I can't remember the woman's name. I didn't really know her. I just heard it a long time ago and I was like, that is so spot on. But a great day starts the night before, all right? So think about it that way. And what I always say is try your best to go to bed at a really reasonable time. Depending on where you are in the world right now and depending on what season you're in, generally speaking, it's really great if you can get to bed and go to sleep. Generally, within the next couple of hours after the sun goes down, try and map the sun. And the circadian rhythms is what, we are attuned to nature. We kind of lose track of that, but if we can reattune with nature and come up with the sun and go down with the sun as much as, try and be guided in that direction. And I could go on so many different tangents in terms of sleep and best practices, but I'm going to sign off now because I've been on here forever. But I'm much love to you guys. And Ronnie, thanks for joining. I hope you catch a recording and get a ton of value from today's message. As always, I'm sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you, to wherever you are in the world today. I hope it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary. And I really hope today's message has served you, empowered you. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of you guys for joining. I'm sending you all of my love, and I cannot wait to see you tomorrow.